Hello and welcome to episode 31 of The Spirit Engine 2. I'm Bring Stabbity, the stabbiest that ever stabbied, and with me I have...
Nweis, who has to say, we are really bearing down on the dramatic climax and the final revelations of this game, and I am really looking forward to it.
Well, I'm really enjoying the background music here, just the haunting tone of it. It is wonderful.
It really is selling the impending doom in the current point of the story. Another thing I was saying to Stabbity a little earlier, which I want to observe, is we've gone through most of the game at this point. One thing I love about this game, and I'm not sure if I'm describing this well, but there's something about the writing where there's just a sincerity to it that shines through, where I don't even know how to describe it, but there's something very sincere about what Mark Pay is expressing in this game in a way I don't always see in some things. I'm sorry if that's vague. I don't know how better to put it.
Yeah, he's just really heartfelt on it. Anyway, if you don't mind being quiet for a second, I'm going to boost the game audio up. But if you say anything, it'll blow out people's speakers. If we could get to the point. Not the best part. Will we get the haunting vocals back? A part of it right there. Okay, let me lower the volume back down. 2 minus... There. Alright, otherwise you should be able to speak without blowing people's speakers out now.
Amazing!
Okay, well, there's where we saved. Now, this is probably the second to last episode, just based off of what I heard. Can't go back. Nothing left in long reach, so we're just here. Oh, yep.
Did we hear what she had to say last episode, or
I don't believe so.
After the episode?
I think we did that after the episode. Actually, I don't remember. Maybe we did that during. Oh well, that's fine. The Lorefti's lines are collapsing, and Batiste is long gone. We don't have much time. We'll have to try and break through the mausoleum. Let us pray there are some Lorefti's soldiers out there still capable of fighting, or we'll be on our own. Information! Call for assistance from friendly troops using the 2 buttons that will appear at the top of the screen. Use your reinforcements wisely, as they will only be available once.
And be prepared to run.
Okay, lovely. It's going to be that kind of game. Well, there's... Oh, shoot!
Alright, pause for a moment.
Let's pause, take a look here. We've got Yeagar pikemen and riflemen. Okay, reinforcements send in the cavalry. We've just got it once. Reinforcements hold the line, just have that once. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that reinforcements hold the line are gonna give us some defense, and send in the cavalry is gonna be some offense.
I will hold the line, brings in 2 musketeers who take position between your first and second and third, and you shouldn't do it while there's a musketeer in the opposing group for reasons.
Okay.
Or rifleman. Well,
rifleman, yep.
Charge brings in a couple of cavalrymen who smash through for a single spike of damage and then are gone. Hold the line has sustained damage through the rest of the battle if you keep them up, and we do not want Mauritius healing at all in this sequence because
everybody recovers between battles and they're not too crazy on defense.
We should damn the pikemen. Probably put Mauritius in front.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Basically, this is something where you want maximum possible efficiency in this.
Yep. Now let's switch him back to Wrath. Okay.
All right.
Let's damn him. And then we can...
Let's pause Grace and have her do high fire.
Makes sense.
And swap her to take out... And
to take
just
out the
keep,
pikemen in the back. Sure.
Yep.
There's the dam. Let's switch you over to Wrath. Target the back. High fire. Go. Good
All right,
job.
now she can knows aim shot.
And let's continue on. Yeah. Oh, Furwin's almost down. Oops. I didn't mean to switch, but that worked.
We shouldn't level up yet for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
We need to... All right, pause.
Pause and let's see. Oh, we've got a priest.
We need to burn down the we need to burn down the priest first. So what I propose is sword faith, definitely.
Oh, he's got a
And
50% resistance. That's annoying. We'll get a dam.
and lucky shot maybe.
Sure, lucky shot. Why not? We'll be bypassing as much as possible there. We could increase levels right here while we're paused.
No, you
but
can't
that's fine.
during it in battle.
Oh, you can't? Okay, cool. Whatever. So yeah, we've got Sword Faith, we've got Lucky Shot, we got Dam. That's probably what we're gonna stick with for now. Go.
All right, put.
Yep. Let's
put,
get Mauritius out front.
Yep.
That was a good bit of damage there. Anyway, we're gonna swap. Actually, I think let's pause Mauritius, and he can dam the guy in front next.
Right. Makes
Yeah,
sense.
it's here. Yeah, it helped a little bit, but whatever. We'll stick with Sword Faith and Lucky Shot. Good. Good. They're both spent. Dam the front. He can switch over to Wrath. We'll keep the target on the priest for now. So close. One more round and we'll get it. Oof.
Let's put Furwin in front now.
I'm gonna tank that shot first. Now put Furwin. Did he heal himself, or...?
The dam just wore off.
Dam just wore off, okay. Yeah. That's not good. I think we need to put the dam back on him. Actually, we'll pause both of you to get the dam first.
Doesn't matter.
There.
All right, now.
Resume everyone. Switch to Wrath, I guess. So close. Grace, you get up front. There we go.
Put Mauritius in front. Aim, slay. No heal.
That's right. Oh yeah, we just got the one guy left. Oh, he's gonna high fire, it looks like.
And he's leet.
Yes, he is. He most certainly is leet. Fortunately, Grace dodged. Anyway, let's, There we go. Party gained a level. Right, keep
All right.
running!
Okay,
Knight, lovely. Those are some pretty
What
strong
I'd-
defenses.
what I'd do is dam everyone and then bring in the charge on this one, I think.
Makes sense. Should, we let...
Slay an aim shot, yeah.
Should we let Furlan
And-
and Grace charge up so that they can do a, so they can do more damage to the knight?
Sure.
Alright, you guys can pause. Mauritius, you charge up.
All right, let's rotate through and...
There we go. And one more on the back. Alright.
Alright.
Ferwin, you take point.
Okay, and unleash the cavalry.
Everyone's damned, and let's call in the cavalry, and we may as well switch to Wrath. Boom, boom, boom. That was nice, except for the one guy that dodged.
Alright. Let's unpause.
Unpause, and go. Oh, that was... Oh. Bye, Mauritius. Oh well, we should get these guys soon. If he doesn't dodge.
Pause for a moment. Swap to Thunder Strike and pause Grace.
Makes sense. Yep, that's
actually
still... No, she can just aim shot now.
Yep.
Or he can dodge. That works also. Anyway,
now Slay.
Slay, aim shot. Wrath didn't do the trick. Do we damn him?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. There we go. Switch to Wrath, but I think these guys will handle it. Perfect. Been victorious. We gained another level. Run!
Hold the line here.
Yeah. Reinforcements, hold the line. We definitely don't want Mauritius out front because we got the priest. Honestly, I'm gonna
get
put
Mauritius out front and have him soak the dam.
That's a good idea. Yes. Okay, so Mauritius out in front. Dam. We should be targeting the priest first. So, damn the priest. How were his resistances? Yeah. High fire.
High fire instead of lucky shot.
Yeah.
Or okay, that works.
Yeah,
Let's do this.
I'm thinking that's a good setup, just because that 49%, which admittedly is going to be 42%, is a huge down shot to Sword Faith.
Yep.
So anyway, Mauritius out front, nice. He soaked the dam, and Grace can be up. Actually, no. Mauritius, you stay up front and absorb the next two attacks from the knights with your chi, and then we'll let Grace get up front. Good. Grace. And Mauritius, you can switch to damming the guy in front. And switch to Wrath. Oh shoot, that's right. Thunderstrike just hits his chi. And same thing with High Fire. That's fine.
But that's fine. We're burning through his chi pretty quickly.
We are. That was a decent dodge. Ferwin, you take points. Okay. Grace, you go next. Okay.
Aim, shot, and slay.
Aim, shot, slay, Wrath. Should I damn? Nah. I could, but nah. She dodged. Mauritius, you get out front, although Ferwin's gonna tank that attack. Okay. Grace. Yeah, Grace. You take point. No! Of course he had to retreat.
Thunderstrike.
So, Thunderstrike, High Fire, and...
just Thunderstrike for now. Pause her, and then we can do High Fire or Lucky Shot if we need it.
Sure.
And start damming these knights.
Good idea. Which we just missed, but oh well. Double dodge, very nice. Just
alright,
one
Lucky
strike.
Shot.
Mauritius, Lucky Shot. We still don't have the dam up yet, that's fine. No! It wasn't enough.
Thunderstrike.
Thunderstrike, you stick back to aimed, and you go for Wrath.
Yep.
Okay, you can...
Everyone has a trick up.
He does. So, for win. Swap, good. Okay.
Play now.
Slay, Wrath, aimed shot, focus fire that guy, and then we'll take out the guy in the back in just a moment. Maybe one of our allies will do the trick? Yes? No? Mauritius, you take
Well,
point.
they've certainly been helping.
There we go. Yes, they have. Okay, well, we're out of allies, but we're also out of tough opponents, it looks like.
Now we dam the front and let's blow through this. I think this is the last one. Our main enemy is we have to blow through this sequence really efficiently because...
Yeah, because we've got 109 seconds left. So, let's go. Or seconds or rounds? I'm not positive.
Ticks. It
Ticks.
varies depending on your game speed.
Got it, right. Alright, well, let's get the dam off. Good. Switch to Wrath.
Alright, Thunderstrike.
Thunderstrike.
And dam the front.
Dam the front, stick to aimed shot, and continue on. Good. Wrath, Slay.
And Wrath.
Oh, I thought I hit Wrath. Whoops. Okay, go. Honestly, at 1401, probably worth just damming the guy in the back instead.
Alright.
Because I think, yep, I was right, they did it. And now these three will do the trick. Or two, because Furwin died somehow.
He took a lot of damage from the pikeman's tricks.
Ah, got it. Okay. Oh, so close! And of course he had to come back. Well, let's go Lucky Shot, pause the Wrath. Pause the Slay, although it doesn't really matter. And he dodged that one. Actually, I'd probably go for Thunderstrike instead. Wrath. Let's wait just a moment. Yes, good. Wrath.
Alright.
Slay and aim shot. Go. He dodged everything. Wow.
Come on. Come on.
Right. Good.
Oh, life drain.
Run. Whew, we made it.
Nice.
They teleported.
I do not always... Well, remember they stepped into a teleporter at the end of last... Yep. Here it is, the World Eye, instrument of justice, font of power. Mine.
Oh, give me your best evil laugh. My God, the space is enormous. There's a whole other world beneath us, lost in an endless ocean of cloud. So beautiful and yet so cold and mournful. I wonder what happened here. I noticed an engraving on the wall by the entrance, my prince. Beside a forlorn and forgotten skeleton, it was labored and crude, unlike the other markings. Perhaps some sort of journal? Might I be allowed a short time to translate it? That's his excited face.
Yes. Yes. Be quick about it, Julius. My hour of triumph is at hand, and the eyes of history are upon us. I would hate for this moment to be spoilt by unwelcome guests arriving late. I still don't understand. Why are the people upstairs hurting each other, and why aren't we stopping them? Because it is their nature to do so, my dear Clay. Because they are foolish and submissive. Because they deserve it, and because it serves our purposes for them to waste their energies on each other. But I don't want them to get hurt. I don't want them to fight. Shanna said that people fighting was what destroyed Amara and made her cry. Why do we want more people hurting?
Poor stupid Rock. You never told him about Porto Vale or Kelstarin, did you?
Your tone and your contribution to this conversation are neither appropriate nor welcome, Shala. Do not make me angry. What was that about Kelstarin? I liked Kelstarin. It was pretty. When are we going back? We won't be going back to Kelstarin, Clay. We'll have no need to, remember? Once I reshape the world, there'll be no more Lerefti's Parliament, no more United Lerefte, no more Yagara, and no more Rakari. And I can have my own farm with a blue fence, and it will be full of animals, and I can spend all day petting them. Hee 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 hee.
Okay, Clay, you can start singing Daisy.
That's right, Clay. There will be no creature that calls itself your master. Amara will be free. We will all be free.
And then what, my prince? When you have broken the two greatest powers on Medea, cast out the Rakari, raised Amara to the skies, and secured our borders? Now, the thing with this game is, she may mean that literally, and I'm not positive.
How do you mean that literally?
Like, as in taking a handful, but imagine like a giant, taking a handful of earth and literally lifting it up into the sky.
Yeah, I honestly suspect it might well be literal.
Or like in a G Gundam, how they have all of the Neo colonies, which are literally just a chunk of Earth with giant boosters strapped onto them, and that got launched out into space with no form of, no way to maintain atmosphere or anything. Going full ridiculousness.
And it worked somehow?
Of course. And the Statue of Liberty even got turned into a giant frick-off laser beam.
Onwards, anyhow.
What of those left outside? There will be chaos. They will climb over each other to claw their way into our paradise. Is the only way to secure our strength? To ensure the weakness of others? What if you fail to slay all of the Rakari, and they strike back? We could find ourselves strengthening their tyranny.
Half my life has been spent preparing for this moment, Shala. The Rakari will die in the initial upheaval. There will be no mistakes. Julius and I have accounted for every possibility. Including those nice people who keep chasing after us. Yes, you lumbering fool. Including them. Julius, I will wait no longer. Get back here and open the chamber.
But, my prince, I need more time to decipher the writing. It is crude and jagged, as if the writer were struggling to carve every letter. It may contain something of import.
I will wait no longer. I cannot stand here idly while you dither over those scratchings. Those fools may be upon us at any moment, and I wish to crush them after I ascend, not before.
You don't think Shauna was able to defeat them, my prince?
No, I don't. Her heart may be full of fire, but it will never be enough to overcome her practical shortcomings. She was always the weakest of you, the one whose carelessness doomed my parents.
Oof! 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 So he set her up to get killed by us there. Man, what a bastard.
Yes.
Then why did you leave her there to face them alone? We could have stayed beside her. Fought together, and won. Why did we run? Were you afraid of them?
I am afraid, Shara, of unnecessarily risking what we have all suffered so much to achieve. This is a war we're fighting against terrible odds and ruthless foes. Sacrifices must be made. I have to be practical and make the best use of what few resources we have.
Resources. Yes, I see. I'm sorry, my prince. I spoke out of turn.
Open it! Ugly expression.
The machine may be dangerous, my prince. Perhaps someone should test it before you? I would be willing to take the risk.
How very noble of you, Julius. And your reasons for making such a generous offer would of course be entirely selfless.
Yes, my prince, of course. I think only of your well-being.
I can tell the exclamation points in his dialogue there.
I mean, you did hear that I put a teeny tiny bit more emotion into the line.
Yes. There's no need to test the machine. I've waited 10 years for this moment, and I'll not wait another minute more. Watch me now, Father. You did not die in vain. I am victorious.
And I mean, there was that corpse that fell out of the machine.
What could go wrong?
Yeah, no ideas. Scratchy, no, they're friends. Don't hurt them. Isabel, is that you? Thank God you're all right. Where are they? Did you see where they went? They left me here and walked into the machine with the light. I haven't seen them come back out yet. This place is spooky. I can't remember which way is out anymore. Scratchy found me after they left. He's been looking after me and scaring the shadows away. He's big and strong and does whatever I say. Who's your new ghost friend? His name is Darak. He's not really a ghost, but I suppose you could think of him like one. He's very old and he's here to help us. Isabel, I want you to stay here with your new friend while Mauritius, Ferwin, and I go deeper into the tunnels and find Batiste. Can you do that? No, you're not leaving me here. I don't want to be useless anymore. Scratchy and I are coming with you, and we're going to help. Aren't we, Scratchy? I'm not sure this is such a good idea, Isabel. Whatever happens down there won't be pleasant. We can't guarantee your safety. That's okay. I don't think anyone can. Mr. Batiste was right. I do have a choice. I want to come with you. Then welcome to the party, Isabel. Stay close behind with your new toy and follow us. We're going to disrespectfully request an audience with the prince. Very disrespectfully. Alright, there we go.
And we can finally level up now.
Yes, we can. Oh?
Help me. We only had questions, but he's angry now. He cried out and he tried to free him, but he isn't himself anymore. He broke her and now I can't make her move.
Aww. Clay, there's nothing we can do. Her neck is broken. She's dead.
I don't understand. You can make her smile again. She was too nice to die. The others would laugh at me, but she was always so kind.
Look at his eyes. They're so empty. The poor thing. It's just a little boy. What could do that to him? I only need one guess. Our renegade prince has found what he was looking for and discarded his assistants. We're in trouble.
I also like the huge chunks of rock plummeting from the ceiling in the background.
Yep. Although, the big heavy ones are rather non-Newtonian, with how slow they're falling.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a trick of distance.
Possibly. Possibly.
He controls the world eye now, the great machine that surrounds us. Already the Earth moves above, reshaping and reforming. All of it.
All of it? What do you mean, Darak? What is he trying to do?
I do not know. I sense no pattern, no rationality behind the movement. It is change for change's sake, chaotic and destructive. He's tearing the shell apart.
Has he gone mad? We have to get in there and stop him.
He is beyond confrontation now. The World Eye acts as an amplifier for the controller's latent power on a global scale. It is driven to fulfill their wishes, and whatever Batiste wants, it is trying to give him. The prince may be too far removed from his ancestors for the locked outer doors to recognize him, but the machine itself must have lain just as it was left all those thousands of years ago.
Well, that's some good engineering. Definitely not made by Apple.
Waiting to fulfill its purpose, now it can, and he wields power that no force on Medea can contest, save perhaps with these Rakari you speak of. Maybe it's an AK-47. Leave it buried for thousands of years, and it...
Yeah, leave it buried there, leave it in a swamp, let it get used and abused, pull it out, and it still works. And it'll kill them first before they even realize what's happening. You can't talk like this. There must be something we can do. Darak, can you read this inscription? It looks like it was made by the last person left alive in this chamber. You might be able to tell us why the machine was left in this state.
It's faint, but I can. It begins. I, Salavar Rose, leave this simple carving as my final journal. Please forgive the crudeness of my lines. My strength is failing, and I have much to tell. It is the 42nd cycle of the global hibernation, and as our compatriots slumbered, we caretakers had worked in earnest.
He looks a little young to have been there for 42 cycles plus whatever age he was when he started his job.
Well, they mentioned the caretakers actually would be there for a long time. I think he may have been born into his job.
Ah, that is possible.
It was a beautiful thing to behold, the once warring nations of humanity sleeping side by side, united by the great tempest that raged above us. And you see something like Clay being a labor bot there.
Yup.
We had endured much, crawling across the burnt artificial surface of our world in our cumbersome suits and light-scorched machines, repairing, observing, collecting, surviving. The storm is a wondrous yet unforgiving force. It is far from empty. It has brought many unusual creatures with it to our world, not all of them mindless. We studied them carefully as they fell. Some stopped and rested for a short while before launching themselves starwards again. Others tried to stay. There had been conflict. This was our world, crowded and fragile, and we were not prepared to accept these strange refugees. That looks sort of like... That doesn't look so much like a Rakari. That looks not quite like Ichtheloth, but closer.
Yeah.
Some that we confronted and drove back into the stellar winds were truly alien grotesque. They posed dangers we were ill-prepared to counter, but alone and isolated we could contain them. There had been casualties. We lost several survey ships out in the storm to unknown forces, and had too few staff to risk any rescue operations. Tension had been mounting here as the shell began to crack and the skies continued to burn without end. And in one boom of violet light, our end finally came. The sixth storm pulse brought the Rakari to our world. They floated gracefully from the skies in their thousands, a swarm that seemed to darken even the storm itself. For 2 days they descended upon us. Fearing their intention was to settle, and given our previous conflict with the storm's refugees, we attacked with preemption in mind. We sought to repel them before their numbers became uncontainable and their grasp upon our world became too tight.
Sounds like they failed, though.
Perhaps they came with invasion as their intent. Perhaps they were benevolent but weary from their journey between the stars. I doubt it matters anymore here at the very end of our species. We failed, and they will write our history as they see fit. These Rakari are not like the creatures we fought before. Those we could restrain physically, but the Rakari know no such boundaries. They cut straight to the core of a man, attacking the one vital organ that all the armor in the world cannot shield, the mind. They fell upon us like an idea. I love that line, incidentally.
They fell upon us like an idea.
Our initial assault collapsed in disarray, and ever still did the creatures rain down from the storm. Once brave and fearless caretakers fell to their knees weeping and wailing, rather than attack. I'm not a religious man, but I wonder now, as my time expires, whether this tempest was a judgment from an angry god, brought upon us for our sins, Perhaps mankind was never meant to survive it. All the remaining caretakers rallied to the defense, but it was a lost cause. The automated systems were silenced one by one as their masters lost their minds. The sounds of battle outside diminished. In the final hours, the remaining heads of staff were summoned here, to the World Eye, leaving the chaos and turmoil of the war under the rainbow-streaked skies far above. Captain Farron strode into the chamber, his stately robes billowing about him, seeking to wield the power of the World Eye in our defense. In that moment, as the cocoon closed around him, I saw the despair in his once fierce brown eyes, and knew that it was the end. This would be our last stand. The ground churned above us, and he fought like a demon, but you cannot defend yourself from ideas with blows. The Rakari kept coming, seeking. They found us, found the inner workings of the World Eye, and struck us here. I heard them talking through my mouth. They sunk their claws into Captain Farron's mind, and he fought them with every last reserve of his heroic resolve. But it was to no avail, and every wild parry made against their attempts to pacify him drove him deeper into madness. He lashed out savagely with the World Eye, like a madman against a swarm of insects. Mountains rose towards the stars and fell, dragging the Rakari down into the cold earth, or smashing them against the rocks. Still they fought, and for the first time I felt desperation in them as the slaughter of their kind grew ever wilder. I watched the mind of a great man flayed away piece by piece before me as they redoubled their efforts. I imagined the countless millions of our own kin who must have died as their places of slumber were opened to the storm in his mad fury. For a short time he raged as an angry god, with all the power and wrath of time-lost deities, and none of the restraint. Even when madness had taken him, the World Eye fought on to grant his one last wish, to kill as many of the Rakari as possible. I could bear to watch no longer. In desperation, I shut down the support systems, took an axe and attacked the central power relays. I think they let me do it, for the good of us all. The great machine let out an almighty roar that brought tears to my eyes, as if the heavens themselves were being torn asunder, and then died. I sat and watched and wept as our future collapsed around me. If you are reading this, I beg you, do not touch the World Eye. Its circuits are left twisted and broken by the strain, and the only gift that its interface can bestow now is the insanity Captain Farron left with it.
Okay, well, combine that with an already unstable Batiste. That's not looking like a good combination.
The poor captain is lost to us now. I hear him wailing inside his coffin like a tortured animal, clawing at the insides and screaming in some unintelligible tongue. I've tried to console him, but I doubt he can understand me anymore.
Okay, so yeah, that was the captain's corpse that fell out.
Yep. I am unable to escape. Without power, I cannot open the doors. The core connections will be repaired by the automatons within a month, but by then it will be too late for me. Already I am delirious with thirst. In Captain Farron's quieter moments, I sometimes hear the slow, primal rumbling of the plates as they settle back into position. Aside from that, it is deathly quiet. No one has come to find us. Did I do the right thing? Have I betrayed our people? I think of those left outside. Have any of them survived, and if so, what life awaits them and their descendants? Medea now lies in the hands of what few Rakari are left alive on its surface. Will these angels who see into our souls seek bloody revenge upon us for our rejection? Does the race of man end here with me as its last voice? I acted with the best of intentions. We all did. Please forgive me. It ends there. I can find no more. And here, one of the very last revelations, the Rakari actually, my read on them is, yes, they're mind-controlling alien overlords, but they're actually probably, from what I can tell from their behavior in the story and this last testament, as benevolent as mind-controlling alien overlords come, which,
You know, you still don't want them, but, well, It happens.
And you can see why they might want to hold back human development after what happened at their arrival.
Yeah, that's totally reasonable. Anyway, did you read that line? I don't remember.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Is that the past? He suffered a terrible fate. May he rest in peace. The Rakari could have consigned humanity to extinction if they'd wanted. Instead, they've kept us in a dream world and run Medea as some kind of interstellar refugee camp ever since. Now Batiste is in control of the machine that built this world, and he seems to have lost his mind. Who knows what it'll do to Medea until Areftane? There must be something we can do, Darak. Please, think.
I'm trying. I'm a ship-based construct without the knowledge of the Eye's power systems possessed by our Carver, but we may be able to exploit the existing damage in order to eject the Prince. The World Eye has fail-safes designed to present unstable personalities for performing catastrophic actions with it. They must have been disabled when humanity made its last stand.
It can prevent it also. Just teasing you, you said present unstable personalities.
Ah, whoops. If I traverse the Eye's network, I may be able to find and re-engage them. Could you distract the Prince long enough for me to attempt this?
I don't know, Darak, but we must be all that stands now between Medea's inhabitants and utter ruin. We have to try. We don't have any choice. It's our world up there too, for all its faults. If Batiste wants to destroy it, he'll have to deal with us first. We didn't come all the way down here expecting an easy fight. I'm with you. Me too. I won't run away. That is a very Shinji moment. I mustn't run away. I mustn't run away. I mustn't run away.
She's more likable than Shinji, but then again, there are many things more likable than Shinji. Possibly not a ringworm, but even then, I'm not willing to make a commitment there. Then I wish you luck. I am a dying ember cast adrift on the wind. Thank you for granting me the freedom to choose a noble end. Go swiftly now and think only of victory.
Well, we've lost our guiding light.
Final level up.
Final level up. Mauritius, let's see how many. We've got 4, so Wrath, Dam, Heal,
and Fortitude or Chosen?
Fortitude. Berwin.
Might, Slay, and Fortitude.
Might, Slay, Fortitude in the opposite order. And I
Sword
guess
Faith.
Sword Faith. Okay. Grace. Aimed shot. And will Lucky Shot be useful?
Actually, yes. There's multi-hit thing will actually be of some use in this final thing. So
okay, well,
let's do Lucky Shot, High Fire, and then like Fortitude or Lucky Lady.
Let's go Lucky Lady. She's been nice and defensive, and we may as well bump that all the way up to 55% dodge chance now. Quite nice.
And
anyway,
here we have our last save point before we confront Batiste and shut down the World Eye.
Yep. Mauritius is still angry, Berwin is still nervous, and Grace is still normal. Well, let's go to save point and wrap up episode 31. Please join us next time for the epic conclusion of the Spirit Engine 2. As always, like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check me out on Twitch, YouTube, Rumble, and Odyssey, and I will see you guys in the conclusion. Bum bum bum!